Heyo, welcome back to my kitchen, and my god, you guys, I was not aware how much the people love Chandelure. I told y'all if I pulled 50 new subs from my last video, I would take Chandelure to Milwaukee. I just figured it would get 20 subs, maybe 30 if the algorithm is nice to me, not that I would have 150 new subs in less than 24 hours, or that it would have gotten over 600 new subs in about a week. So I couldn't not take it, right? But before I get into that, I do want to get into some more of the reactions because a lot of y'all left a lot of comments, and a good mix of everything. A little bit of you're brave for that, a little bit of your music is loud and annoying, to nerds calling nerds nerds, to one of my favorite suggestions of swapping out the Dunsparce for Drakloak as a draw engine, and then just swap out a fire for a Luminous to gaslight them into thinking we're about to whip out a Dragapult. That's the kind of energy I'm looking for. I love it. Also, check it. The price of the Halloween stamp Chandelure has gone up by 2 cents since the video went up. Direct correlation? Maybe, maybe not, but now I can finally say I have influenced the Pokemon TCG market. Make sure you get in there before the Chandelure scalpers figure it out. Nah, I'm just playing. And I won't clickbait you and act like I had an incredible run at Milwaukee. I went 0-3 drop. It was a massacre out there, partially because of a number of factors in addition to my skill, or lack thereof. For one, gaslighting people is easy to do once. I'm not crazy, you're crazy. If you can convince somebody they need more cards before that first Chandelure goes up, that's pretty simple. What's the HP on the Dunsparce? Everyone knows it's 140, so they'll get it right and take the cards. Great, now try that again in game 2. Chandelure is really only good in a best of 1 format, particularly with what we're trying to do with it. I did know that going in, it's definitely something I should have mentioned in the last video, but just completely forgot about it. Between that and the fact that the video absolutely exploded far beyond what I was expecting, I knew there was a good chance someone I faced would have probably already been exposed to the scam. Not that I'm complaining though, I've been going through a bit of an arc realizing that I have been having more fun playing the game in this way. Silly meme decks are my bread and butter. I kid you not, I was this close to playing Marty's Grimmsnarl before uploading that video, and I can't say with any confidence that I would have enjoyed playing Grimmsnarl more, because it's a top 3 deck, and the top 3 deck kind of guy I will never be. Give me the jank, give me the bulk box, I'll be happy to live right there and take some silly decks to big events. So without further ado, here's a recap on the real enlightening journey I went through while trying to gaslight people at a regional. Round 1 was against Terrabox, and let me tell you, this was probably the fastest match of my life. Not even because I set up poorly or anything like that. He managed to go first, set up his Wellspring and a couple of Owls, and I managed to get a Buddy-Buddy and a couple of Candles and Dunsparce is up. I even cut my Dunsparce EX for a Shaymin early on because I had a feeling that something like Zoroark or Terrabox would absolutely obliterate me here. But with no way to search it without the early game Artazon, we were looking at a double KO on my Litwicks, and no way of stalling him out, conceded both games by turn 3. It was pretty bad. But this dude was so cool though. He was as apologetic as a person could be while absolutely wiping the floor with my Pokemon. And I got a nice chance to talk to him as somebody who wants to become a Pokemon creator. And I shared with him my experience in this community and encouraged him to give it another try. Because if I learned anything from you all, it's that this is one of the most welcoming communities to new creators, and I remain forever grateful for that. So, to my opponent, if you're still out there, please hit my email. I'll shout you out on this channel and give you a head start on your journey. And thanks for the match. Round 2 is against Gardevoir. And this match was much more like what I was expecting. As long as they can only take 1 prize per turn, that's where this deck lives. I set up decently well, but was unable to get my energy for the turn 2 attack, so I hit him with the first of my tricks, Lieutenant Surge's Bargain. And he goes, I'm not gonna lie to you, this was a card I was not expecting to see today. He chose to let me have the 4 cards rather than take the deal, because at this point, he had no idea whether giving me the prize card would give me a boost up. He didn't even know what Chandelure did. I actually battled this one super close, got a nasty KO on his Fez and his first Guardy, and battled it down to 1 prize left. What killed me though were 2 terrible Tails flips on a Mind Bend Confusion. If either of those 2 Confusion hits would have landed, this would have been game 1 in the bag for me. And then game 2 came along and he was hitting on all cylinders on this one. I did hit him with a time play with which he goes, what the f is that card? Before picking it up and laughing for a bit. And that's one of my favorite things about playing weird supporters in here. If my opponent has to pick up my card and look perplexed for a minute, that's a win in my book. He did get the HP on Dunsparce correctly though, after which he realized the mistake he made and gave me a laugh about that too. He still took game 2 though, and I was already starting this day pretty badly. But I was having a fun time. My opponents were cool, and Chandelure kind of forces fun games by having both players draw more cards. What's not to love? Game 3 ended up being my final match of the day against another guy who I thought was super cool. Really soft-spoken and shy, but he played it really well. It was a Goldango, one of my favorite matchups for this deck. This was finally going to be my chance to feast. Is what I told myself to start. Bro played Corner Pawn in his Goldango list, and I had taken out my Dunsparce EX because half my comments were saying, what is the EX a tech for? How does this help you in any way? I managed to battle this one down decently well, but the moment he saw what Chandelure did, he kept his hand size really low, which I imagine has to be really weird for a Dango player. And that Corner Pawn in the back was just sitting there waiting for me to take too many prizes. I ended up slapping down the neutralization zone hoping to buy me some more time to boss up his Dango for game, but he managed to draw into a fighting energy, retreated into Solrock, and bossed up a Dunsparce for game. Game 2, he leads Corner Pawn, and I did what any sensible gamer would do. Runaway draw to end the game on my own terms. And that's how I got eliminated from Milwaukee. I probably could have stuck it out and played 5 more rounds, but I wanted to play some side events and win some packs. So I did that. I ended up participating in a 7-round challenge for which I brought Team Rocket's Mewtwo, a deck I feel much more comfortable with, and took home 200 tickets, which is good for 20 packs, which is a win I will gladly take. Yeah, my run of Chandelure went pretty badly, but I kinda expected that. And keeping my promise to my subscribers is more important for me than making day 2, so I absolutely would do it again. Milwaukee was a really fun experience, and what they say about people from Wisconsin is actually true. Y'all are entirely too nice. This Washington DC born and raised is lucky to have gotten to experience that. I don't have any more major events in me until like NAIC, I want to say, so it'll be back to meme decks and silly content for the foreseeable future. Again, I want to thank all the new subscribers who joined in to support the run, and as long as rogue decks still have fans, I will continue to be one of them, and I will keep taking them to events and bringing progress reports for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.